Aries. So you have the Nine of Cups, the Ten of Swords, and the Eight of Swords. So these three cards right here are all about you essentially leaving, you basically leaving the old ways that you had behind of, kind of thinking too fast, being a little bit, easily tempered, or, upset. Because the Ten of Swords and the Eight of Swords represents, you understand that bringing in other people is not necessarily always so cut and dry, unfortunately. So you have to be very wise with how it is that you associate yourself. So a lot of you Aries are beginning to understand that, being so easily upset is not necessarily the best thing for you. The Nine of Cups represents you'd be better off being way more patient, or no matter what side of Aries you're on, right? No matter what you're into, because then you're able, because you Aries, like I said, a lot of you are smart. So the anger gets in front of your intelligence, and it ends up being a huge brick wall that, spiritually, of course, you run into. And the Chariot and the Temperance now is about you're not doing that, or you realize that that's really kind of impeding your relationships, because it's stopping you from really seeing that, number one, sometimes when you are getting to know other people, the problem is not always on you. The problem can be on other people, because when you get to know them, they'll try to flip the script on you, try to make it seem like you're the one that's terrible, you're the one that's dysfunctional, you Aries are the one that's out of your mind. But that's not even really the case at all. The Chariot and the Temperance now is about, so for you Aries, right? So for you realize that not being so emotional will actually have you ask the questions and find out who the actual person is. Or just, again, whether it's a business deal, whether it's a romantic interaction that you're having with somebody, where you hanging out with them, you need to ask them questions. And this is what I'm trying to say that a lot of people unfortunately don't do. And then even when I came into the space and started to talk about relationships and friendships and dynamics with other people and how to watch out for the bad stuff, I started to realize from experiences, things that people told me, a lot of, in private readings, but of course I'm not going to discuss, but just in general, a lot of people don't really ask questions to know who the person that they are in a relationship with. They really just run into relationships like that fast too. Like y'all are living with one another in less than a year. And it's like, yo, let's put things into perspective. A year is 12 months. Take your time. When it comes to dating somebody, seriously though, there's so many factors that a lot of you Aries are now starting to realize, which is getting you to really rethink how you think about relationships. A lot of factors like age, right? Which represents statistically how much time you'll have with them, right? The same age bracket of 60 plus is not the same age bracket as 15. You understand what I'm saying? If you're the same age with them. Statistically, 15 is seen as having more time than a 60-year-old. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like the age, the finances, and all that other type of stuff. There's so much variables, unknown. What are variables? Unknowns that you have to match with another person on. And kind of rushing into relationships make things worse, because you don't actually know who the person is, not even from a financial or like a physically romantic situation, but an intrinsic value situation. Like, who are they? Do you and this other person actually get along? Or are y'all like at each other's throats like cats and, well, not my cat and dog, but in general, right? Like a cat and dog, because I have a cat and dog. And a lot of you Aries are starting to sit back and really pay attention to these elements that you've missed. Like, there is so much that you have missed that you really should have been paying attention to, but the the good side of this, or the more cheerful side of this, is that you Aries are paying attention to it. So the Four of Wands and the Ace of Swords now represent how, so you Aries understand that you're looking, again, you're more focused is what I'm trying to say. Like you now have it in your heart that you want something solid with somebody else. But again, Ace of Swords and the Ten of Cups, it requires so much planning, Aries. Like when I am talking to somebody, it's so much that you have to take into consideration when it comes to just getting to know somebody, let alone being in a relationship with them. And people who are in functional, decent, working, prosperous relationships don't get enough credit, because there are a million things that you have to juggle. There are a million things on your plate. And what I mean by that is, first and foremost, are they lying to you off the rip? Are they going to show up for the first date? To how many, all the games that's out here being played. Then when you're getting to know them, right? Are they going to switch up on you at the drop of a dime because they get impatient, and now they just come out with it and they show you that all of this that they want is just money, and they're not really trying to dedicate their self or be loyal to anybody. They're not trying to go through hard times with anybody. A lot of you Aries realize this now, that it's a million factors, because a lot of people are out here selfish. For some reason, for some reason, a lot of people have this ideology of there's no such thing as struggle for them. They shouldn't struggle. There should be no such thing as struggle for them. They shouldn't have to struggle at all. And it's like those people, like I said before, are in la la land, because this idea of when those people are struggling, you have to leave, or not you, but they have to leave. That goes to show you where the mentality is, because they struggle even in their own life. You understand what I'm saying? So what does all of this stuff mean so far? Why is this important? This is important because, like I said, this goes right back to with you Aries having a whole new, says the Chariot and the Temperance, a whole new perspective on how you view dating. Like the idea that you understand that you can do it, but there's so many levels to this. How many people, because ultimately it comes down to, this is why I keep saying this, and I may have to make a video about this. Ultimately, all of this stuff comes down to decency. People don't want to build with anybody else because they lack the integrity and the decency to do so. That's why you have people who are overly selfish, because and this is why it is that you Aries have to let go of these said people. Five of Cups. You have to dub them because of the Two of Swords. The two of you should work together like peanut butter and jelly, or peanut butter and banana. Right? Stall me out. But if the two of you are not working well together, this idea of one person doing the majority of the work, no, it's both people having to put in the work. And if that's not if both, not one, both of the people not putting in the work, number one, it's not a relationship, and number two, you can't call it a functional relationship, because that's not what a functional relationship is. If the both of you are not putting in work, it's by definition, it's not a relationship. So let's see how many people are still gonna act like that's what it is after today. No, it's wrong. Not because I'm saying that, but because that's not what a relationship is. Because like it is that I said before, with the Rothschild family and the Rockefeller family, because I study those families, what they do, the things they do right, the things they do wrong, learn from their mistakes, right? Learn from their example, right? I study them, right? Again, the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds don't marry they don't marry another person unless they vet that person and that person has their own and is on the same page with them. If they are not on the same page with them and they don't have their own, they're not marrying them. By definition, they're not doing that. That is a dub for them. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of you Aries need to understand, and you are beginning to understand that very same thing, right? It should not just be you putting in all the work. It should not just be them. It's the two of you having to work together, because you have selfish people who are selfish to the point of mental illness. It don't even make any sense to be this selfish, because it doesn't even make any sense. One person needs to do the job of two people financially picking up the bills. But you're a whole adult without a means of income talking about what somebody else needs to do for you. You sound stupid. Not you, but I'm saying someone in that situation, you know? So let's clarify the Two of Swords. Ace of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, Four of Swords, Six of Swords. Again, peanut butter and banana or peanut butter and jelly. And a lot of you Aries will offer that kind of attention to another person. But if you see what type of time they're on and they're not on the same type of time with you, that's a problem for you, because you're going to have to dub them. So this is very interesting where it is that you Aries and your mentality is going, how a lot of you Aries are starting to pick up what it is that I've been putting down and start to see the selfishness of others. Like, a lot of people out here are so selfish to the point of mental illness. Their selfishness doesn't even make any sense. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Smash the subscribe button, smash that like button, hit the notification bell, and set that notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos.